we met originally at Bradley Metrock's Project Voice in Florida.
No, Chattanooga.
It was April?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought maybe it was the Florida one.
No.
You're right. I met your team. I find out all about your agency.
Yeah.
And you guys are doing some really amazing work in conversational AI as an agency. And of course, it goes beyond that. So tell me a bit about what you do as managing director of Rabbit and Pork.
Yeah, so I'm in charge of the team there. So making sure that our product is in place. It's something that clients want to use. Also charge of innovation, so looking at new products that we can offer, new services that we can offer.
Yes.
So as this space has evolved, and it has evolved quite a lot.
Yes, it has.
What do we start to try and offer our clients? What are our clients interested in as well? Because what we were doing 4 or 5 years ago has totally changed today, and it seems like there's another step of technology that's coming as well that's going to kick on.
Right.
So how can we use that to help our clients?
Yes. Tell me about the clients that you serve today. What type of folks are you really focused on serving?
So there's a few areas that we're looking at. So with insurance, so building products for insurance companies to answer questions of their clients, so whether that's via Alexa or via a website. The other area that we're working on now is smart properties. So slightly delayed compared to the US, has come over to Europe. So we're one of the solution partners for Amazon, and that's looking at installing Alexas into hospitality settings, and in the future, senior living, and then maybe in the future into hospitals. So that's an area of focus that a little bit delayed, but it's finally getting to Europe, and I think that's going to have some great value because we know voice is great accessibility-wise for the older generation.
So you mentioned a bunch of industries. How about brands? What type of brands should be leaning into voice?
So I think it's applicable for all different types of brands, but when it comes to kind of something like voice search, which we often specialize in, it's going to be FMCG brands because people are asking questions to their devices about, does this product contain nuts or what's the nutritional value? And brands want to make sure that they have the right information coming from their websites. And then, when it's more to B2B, then it's maybe looking at those more industry kind of, efficiency drivers for voice, etc. So I think every business has an opportunity with voice. They just need to find out where they're going to get the biggest amount of value from that.
So what would be the easiest way to make an improvement with voice search?
Yeah. So on voice search, traditionally Google as a search engine is pulling a lot of information from your website. But you also got to think about your local listings. You've got to think about also maybe if you're producing podcasts or videos, or if you're a music producer, how do you name your podcast? How do you name it so that when you go to play your podcast, it plays your podcast, not somebody else's, or it doesn't start to play a song, etc. So I think it's very much about researching. Ask Alexa some questions. What does it do? Does it bring back the right information? No. If not, think about how you can alter and edit your content to gain that value. Right.
So Amazon's going to introduce paid search with voice soon. Nobody knows when it is, but when that happens, how does it change the landscape, and how will Rabbit and Pork serve the customers best to kind of navigate these waters?
So I think we're in a good position because within the company, within the group, we have a paid search team who've been managing the budgets for clients on, whether that's the paid search on Google or Microsoft. So we'd expect the budgets will come from there. And then obviously with our knowledge in what people have been asking Alexa and have been asking Google, we'll be able to point those clients into the right direction to say, hey, this is the types of questions that people are going to be asking about your toothpaste brand. Let's get onto this early so that when somebody starts to ask it, we can pay for that right to answer that question.
Right.
And obviously, first mover advantage, the costs might be cheaper.
Right.
And so that's where we're looking to move forward with that when it comes, hopefully. And I've been speaking to some people here from Amazon who won't tell me when, but they were nodding and winking. So it must be on its way.
Somebody comes up to your vendor booth. What makes a good prospect? And how should a prospect best engage with Rabbit and Pork at a first introduction? Like, what's the process of onboarding a new client?
So generally, we always start with an introduction to voice session. So it's to educate the client because quite a lot of the time, in-house teams. They don't know about all the different things that they can do with voice. They don't know about synthesized voices.
Right.
They don't know about all these different products. This is really to give them a lay of the land of what's possible, and then home in specifically on a task. And then from there, it might be that we work on a sprint with the view to creating a prototype,
right,
which is used internally before you'd go to market on that one.
Yes.
So normally most of our brands go along that process.
Okay. Random question.
Mm-hmm.
What's a crazy thing or some crazy things you've heard people ask Alexa?
So,
because you have access to a ton of data.
Yeah. So you can. I like the ones where people. It's obviously kids asking.
Right.
Who's your daddy? Jeff Bezos. Or what are your last words as they're about to throw the Alexa in a bath?
Yeah.
How many sloths live in Scotland? Just totally random stuff as well. But it all comes from something's happening at home.
Yeah.
Maybe they're watching TV.
Right.
But yeah, a random one recently was, what laptop did Abraham Lincoln have? Apple or a Microsoft? And
Funny.
Even I know that he lived a long time ago. They
exactly.
went around then.
Yeah, exactly. Finally, what's the value of a community gathering like this? Why does Rabbit and Pork come to Voice 22? We're glad to have you for sure. But what's the purpose for your agency to be here?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously to meet all the different vendors, to meet our colleagues that are working in different agencies to find out what they're doing. And we don't have an event like this in Europe, so it's been great to come over. We'd love to have something similar happening in maybe that's in Germany or in London, etc.
Yes.
But really to meet some different people, find out about all this new technology, see some of the demos.
Right.
It would be that's why we're here.
Right. Well, John, thank you for coming to sit down with me. Tell me more about Rabbit and Pork.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have cool branding and a very cool vibe at your vendor booth. Hope everybody comes to visit it. And it's always good to spend time learning more.
Thanks very much.
Absolutely.
Cheers.
Anybody that's watching this conversation, thank you for your attention. My name is Ian Utilli. I am the CEO at Attention Live. Looking forward to bringing more of these fireside chats here at Voice 22 in Washington, D.C. Have a very happy day.